So, okay, Pat, so just so we have some context about the power of the lead sort of systems that you're using, can you give us some ballpark numbers as to the number of phone calls? You know, I don't know if you use a website, but any website leads, emails, or, you know, what would you get on an average given month from your different lead sources?
So total number of leads, I actually am not sure what like total number of leads would be, because it depends on what you call a lead. Like we are making probably in a week, I'd say we're making probably about 400 to 500 offers a week, and most of that is being done through email. And then, and that's kind of with our MLS strategy. We're making like 400 to 500 offers, almost purely on the MLS per week. And then you know, direct mail. Like I kind of figure when you send somebody a letter, it's kind of like sending somebody an offer. You know, but you know, only a percentage of those, you know, about 1 or 2% actually turn into leads that call us and things like that. Right. But thousands of direct mail pieces that go out though, and that's been a really big piece of our strategy over the last couple of years is direct mail. So we send out thousands of those when we're doing a direct mail campaign. So the total number of leads that we're handling on a weekly or on a monthly basis it's somewhere in the thousands. I'm not totally sure what that number would be.
So with respect to your, if you're doing 500 or so per week on MLS, you must have some sort of set formula as to, they're asking this much. I mean, okay, we've looked at this criteria. It's been on the market long enough. It's in our price range. It has a few of the, in the notes field, it has a couple things that pique our attention. So, yep. And basically, you're just getting your realtor to fire off an offer, like automatically,
we're actually just we kind of look for certain criteria, and we just fire off these emails to these realtors that are listing some of these different properties. And honestly, I know a lot of people's realtors head explodes every time you mention the word Zillow, but we actually use Zillow for quite a bit of what we're doing, because even though Zillow is not perfectly accurate, it's not anywhere close to perfectly accurate. In when you're doing kind of bigger numbers, making lots of offers, it's oftentimes close enough. Yeah. And so we can, without having to spend the time of actually running comps on every single property that we want to make an offer on, we kind of, in many cases, will use what does Zillow think it's worth approximately. We might take some percentage off of that number and then fire off that an email with an offer with that number in it, just to get the conversation started. That doesn't mean, that's the whole point of all of this stuff, right? Is sending the letter or sending an email with an offer in it. Whatever number is in that offer is not a final thing. It can be renegotiated up or down or whatever we have to do, but it's just to get the conversation started and to see how this person responds to that number. And then we'll go from there.
So you're using Zillow as the sort of the starting point as to estimated value of the property based on the information that you have, and then you're picking a certain percentage. You'll say, if Zillow says it's worth $200,000, then we're going to pick X percentage below $200,000. That's going to be our offer. Yep,
exactly right. And that X percentage, honestly, there's not a magic number there either. That's something that we play with, and we're always changing, because if you go, if you did like a pretty low number, if you did like 60% of Zillow, then you're going to get very few responses to that because it's so low, right? But the ones that you get, if you get some responses from that, the ones that you get are maybe going to be some good deals in there, but you're just not going to get very many responses. If you go with 90% of Zillow or 95% or something like that, you're going to get tons of responses, but most of them are not going to be good deals. You're going to have a lot of renegotiating to do in there, because they'll respond to you at your offer at 95% of Zillow, but you're going to have to renegotiate down for most of those deals in order to make it actually a good deal. So, that's just a sliding scale, and you want to kind of see what the number is that seems to work for you in your market, and you might change it up based on the strategy that you're using too. But that's a great way of just getting a lot of activity happening and, like I said, getting the conversation started.
Is there like any chance you can share like a range that you're sort of in the ballpark?
Yeah. We're usually in the between like 70 and 85.
Okay.
Yeah, so somewhere kind of in there.
All right. So once you get all these deals, obviously, you can't do them all yourself. You have a couple of partners, but you can only do so many fix and flip jobs at once. So talk to me about the importance of a buyer's list and how someone gets started to build a buyer's list so that, if you're getting an abundance of opportunities where you have signed contracts, maybe you've got 5 or 10 a month or whatever.
Right.
Obviously, in most cases, people can't do them all. So talk to me about the importance of the buyer's list and how people get started finding effective buyers.
Yeah, absolutely. So the buyer's list, of course, that's, you want a good, that's the two things we're looking for really is sellers and buyers all the time. So the buyer's list is as critical as, finding sellers is in many cases if you're not going to be buying them all yourself. So the buyer's list, you obviously need to start one. I think the easiest way to start one initially is just through, like if we're talking not any cost outlay, is actually just through good quality networking. Everybody knows, most people know some realtors. Every realtor knows 100 other people that are in real estate. They all know a bunch of people. So if you just kind of like were to, I take people through this activity of like, writing down everybody that they know that's involved in real estate in one way or the other, contacting those people, letting them know what you're up to, seeing what kind of contacts they may have, because they may have like some pretty serious buyers that they work with, or that are clients of theirs or whatever. And if you actually find a good deal and they've got, they know some buyers, then you're kind of doing those buyers a service by bringing your deal to them. So you can really get a list of some serious buyers by just through doing some good networking with anybody that that's in the real estate space at all. Excellent. The other thing that you can do is just direct mail. If somebody's wanting to spend a few bucks on getting a buyer's list going, is you can oftentimes have your title company or build a relationship with a title company. We have our title company that does this for us usually, is pulls a list of all the cash buyers in a certain area. So everybody who's bought multiple properties for cash in these 2 zip codes or something like that, they could pull that list for us, and then we can send letters to those buyers saying, hey, we get great deals on properties regularly. If you'd like to be on our buyer's list, please let us know. They could go to our website and join our buyer's list, or they can send us an email or whatever you want to do. And that's a relatively cheap way to build your buyer's list as well. And many of those people are very serious buyers also. So and then I guess the last thing I would just say is that when you find a serious investor, when you find a serious buyer that's actively buying, then try to just really figure out what it is that they're buying. Because in some cases we're actually we've got these buyers that are really, really great buyers, and they know exactly what they want, they know what their numbers are, so we can actually set up campaigns designed just to find properties for those specific buyers, right. If they're a serious enough buyer. And so we do that with some of our buyers as well.
Great, good idea. Just give us an idea. I know you're sending out thousands of offers a month. Just give us an idea how many deals or contracts you're actually getting, houses you're getting under contract or contracts signed you're getting per month on an average.
Yeah, on an average, I would say probably an average of 15 properties under contract or so.
Wow.
Kind of right in there, 10 to 15, under contract, and not every single one of those turns into a deal, because some of them were wholesaling, and it wasn't as good of a deal as it needed to be in order for one of our buyers to pick it up, and it wasn't a good enough deal for us to buy it ourselves. So some of those just end up kind of slipping through the cracks, but and then some of them we actually do buy ourselves, and we do the fix and flip, and then the rest of them we're wholesaling off to our other buyers.
Excellent. Yeah, that's. One every 2 days or one every 3 days, at least getting them under contract to do your due diligence and then determine if it's going to wholesale or you're going to keep it yourself is great.